Okay. Somebody on my social media made a very casual post about a train derailment and why is it not on the news? And I was like, what train derailment? I go on LoHud.com every day. I'm on NewYorkTimes.com every day looking for content and stuff to talk about. I didn't hear nothing about no train derailment. What train derailment? So I look up Ohio train derailment because he said Ohio train derailment. And lo and behold, there's a bunch of articles. New York Times, all of this. But none of this was on the front page of the website when you go on. They wrote articles about it, but you have to search for it to look for it. And I found that very coincidental. Now, me and my husband just finished watching The Crazies. If you've never seen The Crazies, it kind of mirrors this situation, except for trains, it was planes. Or was it a train? I think it was a plane or helicopter. Went down carrying hazardous materials. If you don't know, this incident has been called Chernobyl 2.0. It is in Palestine, Ohio. Palestine, Ohio, right? Because when I looked and it said Palestine, I said, that shit not even here. This train situation is not even here. That's why I didn't hear about it, because I only look up American news. I stay out of international. It's too much for my brain. But it's Palestine, Ohio. I guess there's China in Illinois and Palestine, Ohio. So this train was carrying hazardous materials and it derailed. Okay? And all that black smoke and burning everything is a controlled burn. So they purposely did that to rid the toxic materials, I guess the physical toxic compounds. Is probably a liquid or a powder or what have you. But the air is filled and there's layers of soot or whatever on the water and the soil. And now, after days have gone by, the EPA said the air is safe, but well water should be tested. Now, our transportation secretary right now is Pete Buttigieg, and everybody is up his ass, no pun intended, or maybe it is. Everybody is up the butt of Pete the Butt. Ooh, that's a lot, because I think he's gay too. But anyway, there are people reporting that even up to 100 miles away from this train derailment and the chemical burn, there's dead fish and cattle dropping dead. And then recently, a News Nation reporter was arrested and charged with criminal trespassing while he was filming near the site. So the movie The Crazies with Timothy Oliphant was about a government plane going down carrying biological warfare and how it affected the residents of this town. And the response to the government was basically quarantine this town and kill everybody. That's how you contain the incident. And, you know, not to spoil it, but the movie's old. You should have seen it already. Timothy Oliphant and his pregnant wife make it out of the town. And they go to the next town. And although they're not sick, they're not showing symptoms of being a crazy, they are carriers and they start to infect that town. So then the government does the same protocol as the town they came from. And that's how the movie ends. There's got to be a lot of money coming out of that transportation budget to keep this on the hush-hush. And let me tell you why. Do you recall that not that long ago, the rail workers went on a massive strike? And one of their issues was the infrastructure and the track situation of these train tracks that are like 200-300 years old or some shit like that. And there was a video of a train. If I'll try to find it and put the link in the description of a train, and I believe it's Ohio. Let me double check that. And how bad the track is and how slow and meticulous and how skilled you have to be to drive over this section of track. And the rail workers got what they wanted, and that was the end of it. But they talked about everything. And then Biden, when he first came out, wanted to do this infrastructure bill because I believe, since he's 175 years old, he knows that this stuff is old and needs to be redone, and people didn't want to back his infrastructure bill. Now, I live in a city where they have these bridges. They call them bridges, but it is a bridge, but you wouldn't know it's a bridge. It just looks like regular strip of street and sidewalk. But underneath is a rail system that's no longer in use. And these bridges were pretty much made when the rail system was made, hundreds of years ago. And the maximum weight on these bridges is 3 tons. Okay? Because back then, horse and buggy and their cargo wasn't worth more than 3 tons. Now, to give you some perspective, I think a school bus is 15, not a school bus. These city buses that we have, these Beeline buses, they're double. They're accordion. They got an accordion in the middle of them, and they're long. I think they're 15 tons. So this bridge was rated for 3 tons, and you got accordion. It's a major street, school buses, city buses, cars going over for a hundreds years old bridge that was maxed out for 3 tons. So they got a new DPW person, right? He's new, and the state came in and they did an inspection on the bridge. They did inspections on the bridge, and the remediations that were needed was still only a remediation to bring it up to temporary status to be able to do the 3 tons. Now, this guy who just took the job is young. I want to say young because he look about my age, right? Now he's the commissioner. He's young and black and male. And he took his authority and overrode the mayor's authority to close down the bridges. And he said that he was not going to be the one responsible for deaths of people. Because even if we did the remediations that the state wanted, the bridge is still only able to hold 3 tons. So the mayor was a little annoyed, but she didn't do any backlash because she knows he's right. And they closed it down. They were going to close it down by the end of the week. I think by midnight it was closed. He didn't even wait. It was closed. Everything had to be diverted within a matter of hours, and it's closed. And it could be closed for years. Closed for years because they have to get it up. It has to be able to at least pass 50 tons. But I say this to say that this is not a new problem. There have been commissioners before him. There have been mayors before him. Everybody was like, but this guy was like, nope. And this is what I think is the reason. He's young. He ain't nowhere near retirement. It's going to become an issue during his time as commissioner, where all the commissioners before him were older people up for retirement. And they'd be long gone before the problem happened and wouldn't be their fault. But this guy probably got to work till 70 like me. So he got another 30, 40 years to work. And it will be a problem during his time. And he will be the one in trouble. That's what I think. I think everybody turned a blind eye for this long until somebody young was like, nope, you're not getting that L on me. Same thing with this infrastructure bill. This shit been collapsing before Biden came. Everybody was like, oh, this president's only 4 years. It ain't gonna happen with me. What, do we think we build shit that lasts forever? You don't think the rail companies knew that these rail lines were all fucked up and jacked up? Of course. And now you got a whole city town for 100 miles away being poisoned. Ooh, we get Erin Brockovich. Where's Erin Brockovich? Because she's going to have to get back to work. I mean, a whole Erin Brockovich situation. You want to know? We still learning about the long-term effects of the air quality in New York City when those towers came down. We still got people dying from cancer 10 years later. Aggressive cancer. We don't know the long-term effects of us breathing in that air. And they knew. They knew. How much money you think it take to shut down a whole media? We talking about Rihanna and her having more views than the Super Bowl, than toxic materials on a train being derailed, and how the chemical burn put stuff into the air. We not talking about that. We gotta love it. God bless America and the almighty dollar.